Hey everyone, it's Thursday, September 24th. I'm Maggie Rulli, and Channel 1 News starts right now. All right, I've got a question for you guys. When you're heading out on a flight, what do you pack in your bag? Clothes, shoes? Well, in this first headline, the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, says you'll be surprised to see what they're finding. It took just 2 days to fill this table full of banned items that passengers tried to bring through TSA checkpoints at Dulles International Airport outside Washington, D.C. Items like stun guns, knives, cleavers, ninja throwing stars, replica guns, and nunchucks.
I'll ask a passenger direct to the face, do you have anything prohibitive in the bag? No. We open up the bag, they'll have a knife, they'll have a fake gun.
Some of the biggest head scratchers end up on the TSA's Instagram feed. With more than 336,000 followers, it's an attempt to get the word out about what not to bring. The most serious, of course, guns. In just the first half of this year, officers stopped more than 1,900 nationwide, 18 at Dulles alone. But despite those successes, there remains concern about what's not being caught after details of an Inspector General report leaked that officers at TSA checkpoints failed 67 out of 70 tests, allowing undercover agents to repeatedly bring potential weapons through checkpoints. Next up, Pope Francis wasted no time on his first full day in America. He started off at the White House and dove right into some hot topics, including climate change. A joyous crowd welcomed Pope Francis to the White House yesterday morning. Speaking in English, Pope Francis praised President Obama's initiative on climate change.
Mr. President, I find it encouraging that you are proposing an initiative for reducing air pollution.
Shortly after the White House, Pope Francis rolled through the streets of our nation's capital to a cheering crowd of thousands, even stopping the parade several times to kiss children. The Pope later held his first U.S. Mass for 25,000 ticket holders. Most of those in attendance were Hispanic Catholics from the D.C. area. And last up, it really doesn't matter if it's your birthday or not. You just got a gift. A new ruling this week says the Happy Birthday song doesn't belong to a corporation. Instead, it belongs to you. Happy birthday to you. It's the most well-known song in the English language. And up until now, every time the song was performed in public, someone had to pay the publisher, Warner Chappell, a whopping $1,500. But no more. A judge said the music publisher can no longer collect royalties, and that their copyright claim, which goes back to 1935, was invalid. Some bands were forced to pay after singing the song on stage, but they fought back and sued along with the filmmaker.
I think it's a joke because it's the people's song.
Even restaurants were afraid to sing it, so they made up their own version. It's estimated that the company collected about $2 million a year in royalties. I have a feeling you're going to be hearing Happy Birthday a whole lot more in TV and movies. All right, coming up, we're shining a light on a danger in the friendly skies. Asia's here with our next story, and we're talking about these lasers. You know, the ones your teachers might use in class, or more likely the ones your cats chase after. They're normally really fun and useful.
Yeah, we love a good cat vid, except now a more powerful version of these lasers is being sold online and being used more and more for a dangerous purpose, threatening pilots and anyone who flies.
American 1472, we've got a green laser shooting at us right off the left wing, about a mile out.
The Federal Aviation Administration saw a big spike this summer in a dangerous prank known as laser strikes, when people point high-powered green lasers at planes, usually during takeoff or landing. This FBI demonstration shows how the bright light can temporarily blind pilots.
We suffered flash blindness after imaging and then retinal burning that continued on for a while.
Robert Hamilton is an airline captain who says he's been lasered on 5 different flights.
We have to complete checklists, configure the aircraft, change our speed, change our pitch attitude, prepare the aircraft for landing or taking off, and at that moment to have our vision taken away from us, which is the most critical phase of flight, is a very serious safety risk.
Dr. Robert Seichert says that damage could be permanent.
Certainly if a pilot has their retina burned and there's permanent damage, they're not going to be able to be a pilot anymore.
So far this year, there have been more than 3,700 reported incidents, averaging over 16 per day.
Multiple laser strikes on us just now.
This is a very dangerous thing to do where you're interfering with air navigation. There are significant penalties that go with doing that, and we will find you.
Laser strikes are up tenfold since 2006. So far this year, the FBI says it's opened 28 investigations into laser strike incidents. Chris Warner is a deputy assistant director of the FBI. He believes it's only a matter of time until a laser strike causes an aviation accident.
When it happens, it's endangering the lives of passengers on the plane, people on the ground, and of course the pilots.
And if someone is caught doing it, well, it's actually a felony. And you could face up to 5 years in prison and $250,000 fine.
Wow, kind of scary, thanks. All right, guys, coming up next, we meet one teen who's cooking up a delicious future. Last week, we told you about the Texas teenager who was arrested for bringing a homemade clock to school. Well, now he went from accused criminal to VIP.
Let's take a selfie.
He's the biggest star on the Google campus. Students and grown-ups alike took photos with 14-year-old Ahmed Mohammed.
I'm a teacher, and that is the kind of kid you want in your class, right? That kid that is inspired, that wants to go out and do lots of cool things.
A week ago, the freshman from Texas ended up in handcuffs after he brought his homemade alarm clock to school to impress his teacher.
I just felt like I was a criminal. I was profiled as a terrorist. I was just an innocent person, normal kid, straight A student.
After Ahmed's story went viral, he got an invitation to the White House, Facebook headquarters, and of course, Google. They invited him to their science fair, tweeting, "We're saving a seat for you." He toured projects on display from 20 finalists from around the world and attended the award ceremony. It's so cool to see him being recognized. And now, Ariel, you have another story about a teen that's kind of become something of a celebrity himself.
That's right. This chef has diners lining up and paying a hefty price tag just to try his food. Check it out. With the opening of his first New York restaurant just hours away, 16-year-old Flynn McGarry is feeling a little pressure.
The nerves are always there, but they usually set in like maybe 20 minutes before people arrive on the first night.
On the menu, handmade peanut Ritz crackers with foie gras and hamachi tuna with radishes and chicory. The price, a little steep, $160 a person.
You're getting like some luxury ingredients, obviously. There's foie gras on the menu, there's caviar on the menu, there's really nicely aged beef on the menu.
Welcome to my kitchen.
Flynn's love for cooking began at an early age.
I started cooking mostly because I didn't really like my parents' food. I mean, yeah, I was 10, I was like, I could definitely do better than this. And they were like, great, by all means, you can take over the cooking.
His mother got him started, hosting a popular supper club right in their Los Angeles home.
It smells amazing.
His skills eventually landed him on the cover of the New York Times Magazine and on news and talk shows.
Give me a second, Akira.
Now, teen chefs are pretty trendy on food cable shows and blogs.
On this dish, it's only flowers.
But Flynn stands out, recognized for his imaginative creations. Carla Rubin's company is sponsoring Flynn's restaurant, Eureka.
I think if people can stop talking once again about how old he is, they're going to see it, because his food is absolutely tremendous.
And this is just the beginning for this ambitious chef.
If this was the culmination, that'd be a little sad, a little too early.
Okay, how do I get an invite to that dinner party?
Channel 1 outing, anyone?
That is a great idea. And if you guys have the cooking fever, head to channel1.com for a list of cool food careers.
All right, on that tasty note, we are done for the day. Go have an awesome one, and we cannot wait to see you right back here tomorrow.